Then we have one question under the same legislation. Narrate the provisions relating to sealing on land holdings under Karnataka Land Reforms Act. So what is sealing?
I don't know, ma'am.
Ceiling is like maximum limit. Okay. Ceiling is maximum
Okay.
limit on something. Like we say, right? Ceiling of a house. That's the extent. Same ways when we say ceiling of land holding, as in a limitation that is put on land holdings, that maximum you can hold this much area of land holding, not beyond that. Okay, so those sort of limitations are being provided, and these limitations are put in order to bring land reforms. Okay, so like I mentioned, just after independence, a lot of people were having big areas of land. Other people would cultivate under them, get very less amount of money, even though all the hard work is done by them. Right? In order to bring those reforms, these legislations were being passed. Same ways we have Karnataka Land Reforms Act passed in 1961, so that we have uniform laws relating to purchase and holding of agricultural land. Not like one person is holding all the agricultural land and thousands of people are cultivating under him and paying huge amount of money to him. That should not happen. We need ceiling on land holding in order to bring land reforms. Okay, chapter 4, section 63 to 79 of Karnataka Land Reforms Act makes provision related to ceiling on land holding. And these are the provisions which we have related to ceiling. Ceiling on agricultural land holding. Under the Act, the ceiling on agricultural land holding for a person who is not a member of a family or for a family up to five members is 10 units. The ordinance increases this limit to 20 units. A unit is 1 acre of A class land of a specified soil classification value. A class lands are lands having irrigation facilities, assured irrigation facilities through government canals or tanks to support growing 2 crops of paddy in a year, or 1 sugarcane crop in a year. Like how we saw the classification, based on that only, same classification. Okay, so if it is one person, not a member of a family, okay, a person who is not a member of a family, individual person, or a family up to 5 members, for them, one single person or a family up to 5 members, for them limitation is 10 units. Okay, and this was increased to 20 units by an ordinance. And a unit is 1 acre of A class land. What is 1 unit? That you need to remember, 1 acre of A class land of a specified soil classification. Like all these classifications are also there. Based on that, 1 acre A class land, that is the limit. For a family of more than 5 members, the ordinance increased the ceiling from 20 to 40 units. So any family of more than 5 members, they will have 40 units. Further, for a person who is tenant engaging in aquaculture in the district of Uttar Kannada and Dakshin Kannada, the ceiling was increased from 40 to 80 units. So this is the classification, or this is the limitation put on holding of agricultural land. No prohibition on acquisition of agricultural land. This act prohibits the sale of agricultural land to person having an assured annual income of 25 lakhs or more from non-agricultural sources. The ordinance removed this provision on a retrospective basis. That this sort of limitation would not be there, this sort of restriction or prohibition would not be there, but they are also entitled to buy agricultural land. Previously, there was a limitation put that if somebody is earning 25 lakhs or more from non-agricultural sources, agricultural land would not be sold to this person, but this restriction is also being removed now. No prohibition on holding of agricultural land by certain persons. Under this act, only a person cultivating land personally is entitled to hold land. This act also prohibits several other entities from holding land. These entities include educational, religious, or charitable institutions, trusts, societies, companies, associations. So this restriction or this prohibition was also being removed, that agricultural land, these entities can also hold. There is no such restriction as such. Okay, restrictions on transfer of certain lands. The Act bars the sale or transfer of agricultural land to certain persons like non-agriculturalists, somebody who is not into agriculture. To them, we cannot sell it. Agriculturalists exceeding the prescribed ceiling limit on holding of land. Non-agricultural laborers. The ordinance now restrict transfers of land only if it is an A-class irrigated land which is not being used for agricultural purpose, or a person is violating the permitted ceiling area limit on agricultural land holding. What limitation is put under this provision? If that limitation is exceeding, that means you cannot transfer agricultural land to the person, but otherwise there is no such restriction which applies. Restrictions on lands granted to SCs or STs. The ordinance specifies that any amendments to the Act will not affect rights of land granted to SCs and STs during the period of prohibition under Karnataka Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes Prohibition of Transfer of Certain Lands Act. We discussed this legislation also, right? To SCs and STs land will be given. So any amendment to this legislation, Karnataka Land Reforms Act, it will not affect rights of SCs, STs who have got it under this legislation. Okay, so rights of SCs, STs will not be affected by way of any sort of amendments. Restriction on sale or mortgage of agricultural land. The ordinance stated that mortgage of agricultural land will be permitted only to specified government institutions, companies, or cooperative societies. Okay, so if you want to mortgage agricultural land, it is permitted to some bodies only, like Karnataka State Road Transport Corporation, Karnataka Power Transmission Corporation Limited, Karnataka Housing Board, Industrial Areas Development Board, and financial institutions, among others. So these are some of the institutions wherein you can mortgage or sell agricultural land that belongs to a certain person. He can sell it or mortgage it to these institutions only. So some government institutions, companies, and cooperative societies are allowed to do that. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.